So I had to choose between two of these because they're kind of the same, based on real stories, right? A lot of political fallout. But since we're being nationalistic and excluding foreign politics, I'm not going to mention Munich because that is technically a political one, right? Because of the whole fallout from the Olympics, terrorism and
Bombing.
whatnot, the bombing also. So instead, I'm going to talk about Argo. Ben Affleck directed, Ben Affleck acted movie, and
Ben Affleck
that was,
stunts.
man, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. That was a thriller. That was a political thriller, and that one was just a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't fun for the people who were really involved in it. Of course, after the fact, you find out that it was kind of Hollywood glamorized because it turns out that the U.S. really didn't have a lot involved with it. It was more Canada that actually. Well, yeah, so if you read up on it, no, they say that Canada had a lot more to do with it. The character that was played by, you remember the guy who built the ship on Titanic? I forget his name. That actor?
No, I don't remember.
Hold on, I'll find it.
While you're looking that up, one thing that I read or heard or something is that yes, for the longest time, Canada got a lot of the credit for it. But once the statute of limitation on the classification had passed and they declassified the Argo files, you then learn that actually the US did play a bigger role in that, but for some reason they had to hide the involvement in it. And because they were talking about, that could have actually been a really big boost to Jimmy Carter's then re-election campaign. The fact that he got those people back home, but for the sake of of peace or whatever, they had to keep it under wraps that America was involved.
But you know what that does now?
Uh-huh.
That just shows how ahead of his time Jimmy Carter was. That he's willing to sacrifice. Yeah, he is. He really is. So anyways, but yeah, I really did like Argo. It was just a fun movie. I'm trying to find. Oh, his name is Victor Garber. So that's the actor.
Yeah.
Victor Garber, the character that he played.
Alias.
Yeah, and they say that his character was actually the real one that was more involved. So the U.S. probably had a lot to do with it, and you're probably right that it still had to tone it down. But they say that Victor Garber is the one that his character. I'm sorry,
but they
is the one that.
They said it in the movie though that they have to give the credit to the Canadians on this. They can't divulge how much
the other
people were involved in.
No, and that makes sense. But anyways, either way, that movie.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was a travesty that they went and gave it Best Picture, but they didn't nominate Ben Affleck for Best Director. I mean, he was good in the movie. I don't know if he necessarily deserved the Best Actor nomination.
He didn't deserve a Best Actor, no, but
Best Director for sure. He should have been nominated.
Speaking of politics, I feel like that's a little bit of politics itself. It's kind of one of those situations. They're just like, oh, Ben Affleck, we don't really take him serious, but we'll give him Best Movie. We just won't do Best Director. But anyway.
he's done his part to bring himself back into the esteem of the Academy.
Right. So that's my number 3 item.
Man, I really should have written this down because I had it and then I lost it. Let's see. Okay, well, W. By yeah, W. Is it? It's not Ridley Scott, is it?
Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone. Thank you. I like it. I mean, it's definitely more of it's a movie-fied version of George W.'s life, but also it's not that off. It's not that off base.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen Vice, but
that's the one I want to see.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it's very similar in tone to W. I think.
Is it Oliver Stone too?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it is. But I thought Josh Brolin as George W. was really, really good. And there were parts where I really felt for him, like after seeing his struggles with, substance abuse and then you get an understanding of why he is the way he is now, as far as like not using drugs or alcohol and all that stuff. You know, because he really hit his low, and then he had to like build himself back up. You know, with the help of Pop and brothers and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a comedy, but it was also like it also had its heartfelt moments. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Just to let you know, the director of Vice, he directed these other movies: Anchorman, Talladega
Oh,
Nights, Step
um,
Brothers, the other guys, Anchorman too.
ooh,
So,
oh damn it! Why can't I remember his name?
Adam McKay.
Adam McKay. Damn it! Yeah, role models. Um,
Sorry, he directed Role Models.
yeah.
Oh
At
man, I love
least
that movie.
at least he was in it. I'm pretty sure he directed it.
Oh yeah, I love that. No, Role Models. Now that movie, I love. I really do. I mean, Role Models are the. Are you talking about Step Brothers?
No, role models. Yeah, you white, you Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
No?
him in here. Maybe an actor, but
Can you type in role
no.
models? We got to know who directed that now.
Role Models. All right,
It's
guys,
either him
we're doing a correction.
or Apatow, but I'm pretty sure it
That was
was.
a Judd Apatow. I think it was a Judd Apatow produced movie,
Yeah,
but it was David Wayne.
really. Oh, David Wayne. David
Don't make
Wayne
silly notes.
was in role models though. I do remember him being in there, but
Was he?
I thought Adam McKay directed. Anyway,
No, he didn't direct it, but he was David Wayne did. So, anyways, but that's a good number two. W. So my number two you've already mentioned, but I'm going to include it is actually 24.
mm-hmm.
At least definitely the first, I believe 3 seasons or 4 seasons, because they had a lot to do with the president on that one, you know.
Yeah, but season 5. I mean, that's the one where the sitting president capped President Palmer,
Yeah.
and like he was working with freaking Russians and stuff, and
Yeah.
like it was crazy.
Was that?
Yeah.
Was your mouth open when that was revealed? Because
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
yeah. No,
I
season
didn't
5 was
expect
the
that.
best. It was the
Because this
best.
guy's coming off like like he's a dumbass, but it turns out that no, he's actually an evil genius.
Yeah.
I wonder if Donald Trump. Never mind. But anyways,
No,
yeah.
well,
So
this was Bush times, and it won best drama at the Emmys for that season. And I think all these liberals in Hollywood, they're like, haha, sticking to Bush. So
well, the funny thing is, the writers always mention the fact is like, no, we literally had everybody on every single spectrum. Like they're like, we have ultra conservative people writing the show and ultra liberal people writing the show. Because if you think about it, there was a lot of controversy about the way that they get counterintelligence, right? The way that they torture, right? Because
mhm.
Jack Bauer tortures people to get information. So
Yeah.
they're like, there's a lot of people there's like, no, this is like, he's a corrupt person himself, but hey, it's kind of one of those things. Though, what do you have to do to save the country? You know, so it's kind of like it raises
They
a
always used to
very.
they always used to get on Fox for glorifying torture, but I mean, Jack got the job done, right?
I always thought it was funny that Fox. So Bill O'Reilly made sure that Fox canceled Method Man and Redman, their show,
Mm.
because it glorified, I guess,
Pimpin' be
you know,
pimpin'.
pimping be pimpins and weed and all that stuff, but they no peep about Jack Bauer. Like literally, like I don't remember if you remember him capping like 80 people at one time, and even like one of his the people that was there was like, "Damn, Jack."
Man, yeah. Jack had some of his rage moments where he just go and I mean there was that one in the is it Live Another Day where he finds out his I mean this is a big spoiler, but at this point who's gonna go back and watch it? He finds out that his girl was killed by the Chinese, and he goes into like this Chinese like base or whatever. It starts like just killing everyone, and he
And
kills like
beheaded the guy.
the main guy with a sword. Yeah, he beheaded him. I was like, oh my god, Jack.
And you know what? We might have to top 5 like Jack Bauer questioning,
Moments.
making us question our humanity scenes that we actually think these scenes are like fucking incredible. But I don't know the one that he gets the one lady who only reason she helped him was it her? He basically has somebody tied up to the chair, and he basically throws them out of the window. I don't know if you remember that scene.
No, but it sounds like Jack.
Yeah, it was. Anyways, so okay, I'll let you know we might have top 5 favorite torture scenes of Jack Bauer. Zeus and Zino,
Of which there are many.
24 did glorify torture, but it was he got the job done, like Zeno said. So yeah. maybe we're not as dignified,
virtuous as we think we are.
So, anyways, that's my number 2. What's your number?
My number one. Oh my God, I had it in my head. Okay, fine. Honorable mention. I'll give it to Homeland. Again, because it's more of a spy drama than anything else. Though, especially the last 2 seasons, it was very heavily focused on White House politics. But I highly recommend Homeland to anyone. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's
in your top 5
all-time greats. I think it was my number 2 show. Might have been no, it wasn't my number 1.
No, it was number 2. Number 1 was Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones was my number 1. Number 2 is Homeland. You guys should go watch that show. My number 1 political show / movie. I'm literally digging through my brain right now because I know I had it and I lost it. Wow. Okay, so the show isn't heavily political, but as a show, it's well worth the watch. And because there is enough politics in it, I'll count this. The Wire. The Wire had a lot of Baltimore city politics involved in it, and so it sneaks into my number 1 spot just because I really couldn't think of anything else. so yeah, there you go.
I do want to mention the reason why shows like The Wire and West Wing are not in this top list is because I actually never got to watch those shows. They came out before my time. I didn't have HBO. My family was broke. We didn't have HBO, so we didn't get to watch The Wire. I know you can watch it. I had Prime. It was on Prime for the longest time, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it. And then now HBO Max comes and screws up my plans because now they took it, back into their lexicon or whatever. And then The West Wing, that's still on Netflix. And have you ever seen The West Wing?
I've seen episodes here and there.
So you wouldn't be able to tell me enough if that's one of those shows that even though it's older, maybe it's not outdated enough where I can still go back and watch it.
The ones I did watch. I watched these like a good 20 years after the fact, and I thought they were still good.
Okay, so that's what I'll definitely throw that into my need to watch list. But my number 1, maybe it's reaching, I don't care. Gangs of New York, because it involves the big.
Oh, I just realized what my number 1 should have been. Hamilton.
So, I'll let you mention that in a second. Okay. So Gangs of New York. The reason why I put Gangs of New York in there is because are you gonna say Hamilton?
Hamilton, yes, that should be my number 1. Yeah.
We'll go into that in a second. But Gangs of New York, the reason why Gangs of New York is my number 1 is because one of the big censor plots, remember, is about election. It's about that election for, I believe it was the governor of New York or the mayor of New York or something like that. So that's the reason why I want it. And plus, that actually, I still think that's still my favorite Martin Scorsese movie. So I knew eventually it was going to have to sneak into one of my top 5s. So Gangs of New York is my number 1 because, and then my favorite part is Jenny Dooley's Oopsie Daisy. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite scenes ever. So anyway,
move everything I said.
Because I can talk about Hamilton all day long.
Move everything I said up 1, right? So if anything was number 1, that's number 2. 2 is 3, on and on. Hamilton is my freaking number 1. It's the best. I was literally like before the show, right? Because I like to be a little more refreshed before the show. Wake up a little. So I was taking a shower. I was like, oh, what do I want to listen to? Oh, of course, Hamilton. And I put on the final song, "Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story," and just the whole thing. It's so triumphant, just like orchestral. The chorus, it's great, and you learn about history, and it's entirely political. So I don't even know why I didn't think about it. Yeah, that's my number 1.
You're gonna get absolutely no argument because you noticed that once I saw your face, I knew what you were going to say. Because it's Hamilton. Hamilton is honestly, it's look. I'm gonna tell you two things. One of the things that got me and Zeno to do this podcast might actually be Hamilton, because it's when it came out, and we have in the back pocket, emergency top 5 is our favorite Hamilton songs. So Hamilton is life.
I think we're gonna tease that one till
forever.
the show ends.
We're gonna always have it there. Hell, we might, we plan on having an MCU retrospective playlist. We might have to have a dedicated Hamilton episode one of these days. Maybe when they come out with the actual movie, we'll what's it called? We'll do that. But anyways,
yeah.
All right, that is our top 5, my top 6. Because I'm always cheating, adding as many as I can in there. Causes this what should be a 20-minute clip into like an hour and a half clip half the time.
Well, technically, I got a top 6 too with that late.
I know.
Hail Mary, Hamilton.
Hey, ZZ Talk, we do it,
Yeah.